We got a signal here, NVIDIA. This chart is going viral right now on X. This is gonna be the most important chart you're gonna have to observe going into the remainder of this month here, possibly next year. We have major distribution phase signal flaring right now here. As you can see, we have higher highs here, and we want to see higher highs, especially for those long-term investors. We want to continue to see this market cultivating higher lows and higher highs. That's what we call an uptrend bull market. But what happens is that's not enough, because when you see these oscillators here diverging, right? The price has formed higher high, but you see how the oscillators are not agreeing with it. And keep in mind, the oscillators has already crossed down. You look at this guy right here. It has already crossed down. You see right there, there's that cross, and that's a pretty sharp lower high on this oscillator. You see definitive. I drew that red line for you to see. See, like higher high on the price on NVIDIA, lower high. Look at the upper indicator here. It has 3 peaks, and they're all lower highs again. And so you see, it's been some time now. So basically what he's saying is as the market has, or the NVIDIA has making its move way up, because a lot of times the momentum can carry the move here, especially in the last couple months, throughout last, pretty much this entire year. Because of course, when you see NVIDIA moving like this, nobody wants the party to end. So you want to closely observe some of these signals, and you can see on the volume here, we have declining volume. I think declining volume alone, I'm not going to be making such huge deal about it, but we got the declining volume, we got the both of my oscillators. So you can see all of these 3 things happening here, right? Simultaneously. When I see this happening, this is gonna be a major warning signal. If you look at this bearish divergence, it's been taking pretty much about 6 months to build. So on a day-to-day basis, you're not gonna notice it, but the big tide is possibly shifting.
Those aren't mountains. They're waves.
I'm not gonna say NVIDIA gonna go to 0, right? But it might require some strong correction to reset things, to get some of this excessive enthusiasm, optimism, all of that out, to gutter it out, because it's starting to get crowded. You see all these, and a lot of it is retail investors. That's what a lot of times the peak is created because retail investors are flocking in. These retail investors ain't buying the lows here, man, when things are scary looking. A lot of time, these retail investors are gonna start buying the highs. While the big funds and the smart money, they're covertly, quietly, clandestinely, slowly unloading their holdings on NVIDIA, and they're not going to do it. A lot of these big funds, they're not going to be closing it out in one day. It's a process, because they're moving so much money. Usually, it could take up to several months. A lot of times, these guys will take chunks out at a time. Smart money and these big funds ain't you know what I'm saying? They ain't panic selling like the retail investors do. Huh? What they will do as the stock makes a move like this, as it makes the run up, as we've been in this run up, as you can see, keep in mind this is a weekly chart here, so that's like 2 months of move, and this is like several months of. So as a stock makes a move like this, what they will do, these big funds and the smart money, they will start to unload chunks of their holdings. It's a process. So how do we know that this is happening? Well, you can see the momentum. We're losing the momentum here. That's what he's saying. These highs are, created because that's where the retail investors, they jump in, because once NVIDIA start going up like this, it's going to get a lot of coverage in social media, mainstream media, and a lot of times retail investors, they're going to jump in. And that's what makes those peaks, and that's what makes these higher highs here, as you can see on NVIDIA, while making lower highs. Definitely, this is a time that you want to be cautious about it. And you might wonder, okay, can this signal, can this be nullified? Yes. For it to be nullified, what's going to happen is, if I look at this an example here, the cross up right here, you see that? You see the cross up on that oscillator, the middle oscillator here. That's what you want to see. Keep in mind, again, this is a weekly chart. Each bar represents one whole week worth of data. So you see when it just crosses down like that, you see right here, you see this thing just crossed. You see that? It's just crossed down. How long do you think it's going to take until it crosses back up? Let's just look at this right here. I'm going to end the video with this. Look at, okay, it crossed down right here. So somewhere here, right? And you can see until it crosses back up, that's at least several months, right? So we're talking, for this signal, this threat to be neutralized, you're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 months for this to that oscillator to be crossing back up. A lot of times when you got this bearish divergence, man, it could take longer. So I have to say, in the next, going into, you know what I'm saying, next several months, NVIDIA could chop sideways, little decline, little upside move, little pop, little down move. It's gonna have its dances, but ultimately the big tide is carrying it, and it's getting heavier and heavier.